Do you realize that you are a loving person? That you're an agape person? That you have agape in your heart? That you've got an agape heart? See, when you were crucified and buried and raised, because you were, not just Jesus, that's a good message and that's part of the gospel. Jesus was crucified, buried, and raised. That's essential. That's how we get forgiven. That's how we become new. But exactly how are you new? Well, you got crucified, you got buried, you got raised. What kind of person came out of that tomb? Who are you? Are you a hateful person? Are you a spiteful person? You say, well, sometimes. No, I'm not talking about that attitude that you adopted. I'm asking about you inside of there, inside of that suit of yours, inside of that body of yours. I'm asking, what kind of person are you? Are you a hateful person? Are you a spiteful person? Are you unforgiving by nature? Is that who you believe you are? If that is who you believe you are, then God has invited you to be the opposite of you. And how cruel that is. How horrible that is. He has invited you to fake it until you make it. He has invited you to act good when you're bad. He has invited you to forgive when you're filled with hate. And some people actually teach this. Again, I was listening to an interview conducted by a popular Christian personality, and he was talking about how if Christians could just come to know who they are and get in touch with their wickedness. Yeah. So that's mainstream. You need to understand that. Whether you recognize it or not, you have heard some of that since you were 5 years old, maybe younger. That if you would just get in touch with who you are, get in touch with your wickedness, then you would reach a place of humility, and then somehow, ta-da, all this godliness would come out. Now, find the logic in that. You discover you're wicked, you somehow become ashamed and humble about it, and then out pops holiness and righteousness. How's that working for you? Live in a manner that's worthy of your calling. So that asks, do you know your calling? Walk as children of light because you are children of light. That means I got to know I'm a child of light. We are partakers of the divine nature, and therefore we're lacking nothing. We have everything we need for life and godliness. You're a slave. That's not popular terminology today for obvious reasons, but when the Bible talks about this sort of slavery, it's saying you're harnessed and connected and addicted to righteousness. You're a slave of righteousness. So try to make that jive, because it doesn't. Try to make that jive that I'm a slave of righteousness, but I need to get in touch with my wickedness. It doesn't jive, and it's not supposed to. What kind of person came out of that grave? An agape person. A person with an agape heart. A person with God's love etched on the lining of their heart. A person that will only be fulfilled, I'm talking about you, a person that will only be fulfilled when they are expressing the divine love of God and everything else is unsatisfactory.